So welcome to another edition of the Haunted Hangover Podcast IG Live. I'm Louie, and as always, I'm joined by Bud Dave, who's flipping someone off. Who are you giving the finger to, Dave?
Liz.
Oh, all right. Oh man, I was like, you're giving me the little finger?
No.
All right, so Grimey's in here. So we're gonna start with something. I think Grimey, you know what I'm talking about right now. You know what I'm about to talk about right now, and that is we're gonna taste test really quick the new Ghostbusters cereal right here. And
I don't have the closet.
Dave, you already had this, right? You already tried this.
Yep.
I have not gotten a chance to try it. I wanted to save it for our live stream here. And really quick, Grimey, Retroplasm, my bud, he's the one that sent this to me about a week or two ago because I cannot find this shit anywhere. Now, Dave, you found the box, but in Pennsylvania, not in New York.
And speaking of which, who just joined this chat with my wonderful girlfriend, Sheila Marie. We both found it in a giant supermarket. So there was a whole fucking wall of it, too. Like, it was literally like an end cap, not an end cap. It was just like a section of a wall, and it was all of the Ghostbusters cereal.
It's crazy. Grimey always looks out because for some reason, even with like the exclusive Halloween junk food, like the Mountain Dew Voodoo, I can't find it ever. Every October I have so much trouble looking for that exclusive shit. And he's a junk food connoisseur, and he always looks out and he sends us stuff whenever I can't get my hands on it. But yeah, this is the Ghostbusters cereal. And it seems like a lot of people can't find it. And the reason why I think is because the new movie doesn't come out until November. So it's still kind of far away.
Wait. Let me just say this. There's plenty of it in giant supermarket in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania, it's everywhere, but in New York City, you can't find it. And it's funny because I think I was talking to Grimey, and Grimey's like, I'm shocked you can't. Like, you guys live in New York. How could you not find it? But I was like, dude, I never can find stuff like this, voodoo, those exclusive, like, weird flavored cupcakes or candy. I always have trouble looking for it. But yeah, I wanted to taste test this here before we get into our main topic. And if you saw our earlier post, you know what we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. But what's up? Who's in here? There's a bunch of people I think saying what's up. So, Nori, what's up, Nori?
Not to not say hi to people that come in the room.
So Grimey said, I've only seen it in one place here. I don't know why. Haha, no one has it. Yeah. Like I said, Dave was able to find it, but from what I could see online, a lot of people are having trouble finding it. But again, I got my hands on some. Dave got his hands on some. Really quick, Dave, before I try this, do you remember the original Ghostbusters cereal?
Yeah.
I believe I looked online. It was released in '85 and was discontinued in 1990. And I believe the original cereal was in promotion for the original movie. So it was like a cross promotion that they were releasing a cereal themed around the original film. And then eventually it turned into like the real Ghostbusters cereal, and then Slimer and the real Ghostbusters. And that's when I had it. I had it during the Slimer and the real Ghostbusters, that version of the Ghostbusters cereal. Because I think I was too young for the previous version, and then it was discontinued. So that's what happened to it. So, and if I remember correctly, that cereal, not the Marbits are the marshmallows, were in the shape of the little white ghost, and the cereal pieces were the the Ghostbusters symbol without the ghost in it. What's that? That no, I forget what the name is.
I know. Yeah, wasn't it orange too? Weren't they orange?
I think it was red. It might have been orange, but it was red. And from what I remember, it was kind of like a strawberry flavor, fruity flavor.
That's exactly.
Yeah, and I remember one of the last iterations of the Ghostbusters cereal having, I believe, Slimer Marbits marshmallows in the cereal, because the previous versions didn't have that. They were just the white ghost Marbits. And even looking at this new Ghostbuster cereal, it's kind of lame looking. It's just like little balls, little like O's that are pink flavored with the white ghost, which is cool. They brought back the little white Marbit ghost, and then little blue ghost, I'm assuming. If you look on the back, there's like a little blue creature ghost. I obviously haven't seen the new movie, so I have no idea who this blue guy is, but I'm assuming that's what the blue Marbits are indicating or mimicking in on the box. The box is cool though. It's got all the little marshmallow men on it, which are going to be the most popular thing about the new Ghostbusters movie.
I mean, the best part of the cereal are the marshmallows anyway, so.
Yeah. I do like that there's a bunch of like facts, I think. Like, not even facts, like just questions. Do you have what it takes to be a Ghostbuster? And it just asks you a bunch of questions. Do you believe in ghosts? And if you found a secret hidden chest of old ghost hunting equipment, what would you do? So, who makes it? Oh, this is General Mills.
That's what I thought, General Mills.
Yeah, General Mills makes the new version. I believe the original version was Ralston, or I think I'm pronouncing that right. Ralston. I think they still make cereal, but they're not as like popular as they used to be. Every time I think of Ralston, I think of like oatmeal and like cream of wheat. But let me shut up and let me give this a taste.
Eat it so we can get this Goosebumps chat.
Let's see. I'm opening it here, so let's see. I'm gonna eat a couple of the pieces plain.
Wait. You eat the cereal before you just go all
No. I'm tasting. I wanted to see what the like pink like balls tasted like.
You know, I was listening to Hot 97 2 days ago, and they were talking about how there are people that don't eat cereal with milk. And that is to not eat cereal. But listen, I snack on cereal dry all the time, but when I'm having breakfast, I'm eating cereal with milk for sure.
No, same here. I'm only doing this because I don't think I'm going to break out a bowl and just start chomping. It's kind of like, it's obviously like fruity, but I can't pinpoint the type of fruit. It almost reminds me of gum. Did you get that like gum?
I saw Grimy had wrote in the comments, with like Frankenberry. It is kind of like Frankenberry.
Yeah, a little more faint though. It to me it has more of like a bubble gum flavor.
Honestly, the cereal is just okay. It's more so the gimmick of it that makes it.
Yeah.
It's just the gimmick of it that elevates it to this is cool.
it's again, when they make these cereals, they're usually just to market the movie, and you'll never see them again. So that's kind of the point of them. But again, going back to the original cereal was like this big deal and was around for like 5-6 years. So
yeah,
it's good. I'd have a bowl of it. I'd have a bowl of it with some milk. It's not the best cereal in the world, but it's not terrible.
No.
Honestly, the best part of it is the box. So
I'm telling you that there was a whole fucking wall of it, and I was like, Sheila and I are like, holy shit! There's like literally a whole section of a wall, but like it wasn't even near cereal. It was in its own thing, and it was just there.
It's so strange. I guess the shit's hard to find, but I guess when you get it, you get a bunch of it. So that's probably what's going on with it. So, all right.
Oh man,
the Ghostbuster cereal. It's okay. If I had to rate it out of 5, I'd give it what, like a 2.5, 3. It's kind of generic. It's just generic.
2.5 is a good score.
Yeah, it's kind of generic fruity cereal. I do like it. I need to try it with some milk. Maybe that'll adjust the taste and maybe it'll be a little better, but
Yeah.
who knows? But yeah, Grimy, again, thanks for sending me this box, dude. I really wanted to get my hands on some. So yeah, if you don't follow Retro Plasm, go follow him. Our boy Grimy. He's been on the podcast a few episodes ago.
Yep.
So he's a friend of the podcast. Thanks again, Grimy, for sending this my way. All right, let me what is it? Cleanse my palate over here.
Palate. And Sheila just wrote, and it's true, I did gasp when I saw the wall of the cereal. I went,
again, like you and I never find this stuff. So
Nope.
to see it, like even when like Grimy sent me a box, I was just so happy. Like just seeing a Ghostbusters cereal again was just like awesome. So I was like, even if the cereal, like, I'm gonna keep this box. Like I'll be like, it's such a cool box. Like regardless, and the content of the cereal isn't mind blowing, but it's not terrible. It's just a generic fruity marshmallow type cereal. So
yeah.
again, Grimy, I said it 3 times. You're the best, man. You're always sending me shit I can't find. You're always sending Dave and I shit we can't find. So you're the man, dude.
Grimy, you rule.
So
Here we
let's
go.
jump into our let's jump into the main topic tonight.
The meat and potato
You know,
tonight.
and we've touched, I think more so me, on my love of Goosebumps. I think maybe last year on our Halloween specials, I chose the Haunted Mask, the Goosebumps episode, the Haunted Mask. I don't remember what I said about Goosebumps. If I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry, but I'm a huge Goosebumps fan. I have a bunch of the books. I love the TV show. I have T-shirts, toys, all kinds of stuff. I'm a massive, massive Goosebumps fan. And a lot of the times when you talk to people about Goosebumps, the first thing they remember is either the TV show or the covers. And tonight, we're going to be focusing on some covers, some of our favorite Goosebump covers. So my first pick is pretty obvious, and I wouldn't call it the most unique pick. But I do have a fun story because the cover of this book is actually tattooed on me, and it's the first tattoo I ever got. And I won't say it's a great tattoo. I wouldn't say it's the best looking tattoo. It's not terrible. I've seen worse. But that is the R.L. Stine Goosebumps book, The Haunted Mask, right here.
There it is.
And really quick, this was released September of 1993.
And that's a first printing, too.
Yes, it is. And this is actually the 11th book in the series. And the cover was done by Tim Jacobus. And I'm going to get to him a little more later. Everyone thinks he was the artist of every single one of these Goosebump covers. And he wasn't. Did you know that, Dave?
I honestly thought he did all of them. And
he didn't.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't. I'm going to get to that when I get to my second pick.
By the way, I also had heard or read an interview not maybe 2 or 3 years ago that he didn't get paid a ton either for one of those books he did.
It's funny too, because when I was like doing a little research for this and just looking at the cover and why I like it so much, why it's so iconic to me, you notice, how most of the time artists put their like signatures hidden somewhere in their art. I noticed with these, there's no signature. Like, so maybe they just hired him. He painted these covers and then they paid him a little bit of money and moved on.
I have to say, so that will go into one of my picks, the whole signature thing, but I'm foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so if you don't know what the Haunted Mask is about, and more than likely if you listen and are watching this, you know what it's about. But it's about a girl named Carly Beth. She's like in junior high, I think, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've read it. And she's a wimp. It's Halloween. She's constantly getting scared. And there's these 2 bullies, Chuck and Steve, who are constantly picking on her to the point where, like, they feed her a worm. and her best friend's always telling her to calm down. You're a chicken. She's a pretty bad best friend in the book and even in the episode because she's always like, you're just a scaredy cat, basically. So Carly Beth gets fed up, and her plan is on Halloween night to get a very scary mask and scare the shit out of Chuck and Steve. So she walks into this store. It's like this like novelty shop, like magic store to get, that sells Halloween masks. And she ends up stealing or getting her hands on a mask that's really grotesque and nasty and green and looks like a real face. Turns out it is a real face. It gets stuck on her face and she starts to change. And that's basically the book. I don't want to spoil the whole thing if you've never read it or watched the Goosebumps episode. Honestly, the TV series, the adaptation of that is pretty accurate to the book. It's missing some stuff, but they did a really good job. And that's one of the better episodes. And I go in depth on our Halloween episode of the podcast about my love for that book and episode. But the cover itself, again, besides me getting it tattooed on me, I've always loved how, she's kind of just sitting in this like cool purple background, and she doesn't have the mask on. She's kind of almost putting on. It's like mid pulling over the head, and it's really ominous. And when it comes to like covers, especially as a kid, I always felt that a good cover would represent the book, what you're about to read. They describe enough of the story in one image. And I feel like with this one, you know it's about a haunted mask. You know something bad's gonna happen because of how ugly and scary this mask is. And you can tell she's a young girl and she just wants to scare people. So you looking at this, you're like, okay, this is a Halloween tale because it honestly looks like Halloween. And it kind of really quick, just by looking at it, is kind of eye-catching. And you're like, I want to read that. So that's always been kind of important to me when it comes to, this is also, again, my favorite, I don't know if I said it before, but my favorite Goosebump book. So, and Goosebump episode of the series. So I'm kind of biased when it comes to this particular book. I always kind of skim through it every October too during Halloween. Like it's one of my favorite things in the entire world. And it's influenced me with filmmaking. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to start, Haunted Hangover. It's one of the reasons I love Halloween. So going back to it again, the Haunted Mask cover, number one in my book. There you go, a little pun there. I also like that it says right here, there's a little like sentence, if looks could kill. So, it's perfect cover there. Dave, what's your next one? Do you have anything to add about the Haunted Mask? You almost bought this recently because you don't have this book, right?
But it wasn't a first printing, so that's why I didn't buy it.
Have you read this?
Yeah, years ago. I don't remember.
Do you have a favorite Goosebump book? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Honestly, I can't remember half of them. Like, honestly, I don't really remember much of them. And I'm going to be very honest with my picks. I'm only choosing the ones I could find. I have a lot. So the ones that I'm choosing aren't necessarily my favorites, just ones that I was able to have access to. So I want to say this, though. I do love that the covers themselves, they kind of look like this fantasy artwork you'd see on like a band, like 70s like metal vans and shit. Like that's my airbrush quality, like that airbrush sheen to the picture, to the illustrations. I don't know. I've always liked that about the especially Tim Jacobus' stuff at least. But yeah, I don't know. So going back to what you asked me. So I'm just gonna follow up Louis with the Haunted Mask 2. And unfortunately, let me see if you can see that. There we go. Unfortunately, I think this is a second printing. This is not a first printing. It's still a nice one though, and it still has the embossed Goosebumps. Mm-hmm. The embossed Goosebumps lettering. So this was published and I gotta read all the notes here. So this was published in October of 1995, and it's the 36th book in the series, and a sequel to Louis' favorite. Tim Jacobus did do the artwork for this one, and his name is signed right there. You can see it.
Go. Interesting.
Yep. So some of them he signed, some of them he didn't.
Yeah, really weird.
Yeah.
Because some of these earlier books, because my other pick is an earlier book too, and it's same thing. There's no signature hidden anywhere in the image.
Yeah. So I just have like a little like trivia about this one. So the book references lots of like pop culture from the 90s, like Kmart, Milky Way, the Orlando Magic, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, and Beauty and the Beast. R.L. Stine also said he enjoy seeing a film adaptation of the original Haunted Mask and even a combining of both books.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that too.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't blame him for saying that. And now this book takes place a year after the original Mask.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, now I have my little synopsis here. So bear with me because I have really scratched handwriting, as if you can read that. Looks like. So there you go. So Steve Boswell from the first book gets in trouble for setting a squirrel loose in the girls' locker room, and he is forced to coach the first grade soccer team known as the Walnut Avenue Hogs. Every day after school, Steve can't stand the first graders as they constantly torment him, so he decides, with Halloween being around the corner, he needs to get a mask to scare the kids. He asked Carly Beth, right? That's her name?
Yes.
He asked Carly Beth where she got her mask from, and she won't tell him at first. So then I think he gets it out of her, and it's the store that she got the original mask from. And it's closed, but somehow, I forgot how, but he gets into the basement and he finds boxes of all this like party stuff and masks. He finds like these really grotesque masks, and he finds this hideous old man face. There we go. And you know what happens from there. That's my synopsis book. So,
you want to know something funny about that book? So I enjoy The Haunted Mask too, but I think the TV series adaptation is 10 million times better than the book.
I have to watch.
Yeah, dude, the book is like ridiculous when it comes to the differences. So like The Haunted Mask 1, it's pretty faithful. Like on the TV series, like when you read the book, they excluded some stuff, but for the most part, they stuck to the story. The Haunted Mask 2, spoiler, if you've never read the book or watched the TV series adaptation, the old man mask is technically a full costume. And in the entire like book, the old man mask is looking for the costume that goes with it. That's like how they defeat the man. And the book ends with like the old man mask and it's like body costume running away. And the whole thing with like Steve wanting to scare the kids and all that is excluded from like the TV version. It's really weird. Yeah, it's strange because usually like I get it because you have to like basically consolidate a book that's like 100 pages down to 30 minutes. And, you know, usually a script, 30 minutes, a minute per. You know, in a script, it's like a minute is a page, 30 minutes. It doesn't really work. But with that, I've always found it odd. But I will say, I remember when that book came out, The Haunted Mask 2, how excited I was because I was such a big fan of the original book. And then I remember being so disappointed because of how ridiculous the book was. But then I remember watching the TV version and being happy with that. So
I have to watch both. I want to watch both back to back. I also would really like to read, but I will say this. I love this cover. I think this cover is just as good as the first one. And and that's what I want Halloween to look like every fucking time. So, so
you know what I love about that cover? And I have my copy over there on my bookshelf, but what I love about it is, like, when you look at this one, it's a great cover, simple, Carly Beth putting the mask on, purple backdrop. But in your cover, it's got Steve with the mask on someone's porch. And I love that they added a jack-o'-lantern, and I think he's holding a trick-or-treat bag, right?
I'm saying this is like a perfect.
It looks like Halloween, yeah. I think even when you read the book, if I remember correctly, like they even did a great job with like what the characters are wearing, like on the cover, sort of matches what they're wearing. And I don't think so much Carly Beth, like that's not her final look in the story. But like I think with Steve, if I remember, he's like wearing a sweater, just like on that cover. So they did a great job with both covers. And they all listen. Both books back to back are great Halloween reads. Like everything about them just bleeds Halloween, and it has a lot of that. Like it'll get you in the mood. Like if you miss Halloween, like right now it's June, read both of these books, and you could read them in like a day, and it'll take you back to that time. It'll make you feel like a kid again in October. It's a great. They're great. It's a great series, and I've always been bummed that they never made like a Haunted Mask 3, but in like that universe. There are other Haunted Mask stories, but I think one more, and I have it, but it's nowhere near as good. I'm lying. There's one called The Haunted Mask Returns, but it's like a shorter story. I believe it's Returns, and it's like Carly Beth in like a carnival coming across the map. I remember reading it so long ago and being like, this is not that good, but it was like much later in Goosebumps run. So
I mean, that sounds amazing. That's the premise.
Yeah, it sounds amazing, but it like was missing like that Halloween touch. And that was kind of like my beef with it. Then there's like another Haunted Mask. I have like all the versions of it, but nothing beats 1, my pick, and 2, your pick. So the Goosebumps movie soundtrack vinyl album. Oh yeah, Tim Jacobus. We were just talking about the Sip and Spin Radio. We were just talking about Tim Jacobus, the artist of the Goosebumps books, the covers. So
wait, now that we're talking about Goosebumps, talking about things we liked as kids and Halloween and shit, let's bring something up, because this was a very important counterpart to books and Goosebumps in general.
Mm-hmm.
The book fairs we used to have to go to. We used to have and middle school.
100%. Super important.
The Scholastic Book Fair was everything.
Yeah.
You can get fucking posters, you can get bookmarks, you can get little chains you put on your pen that have little things on them. And then most importantly, the Fear Street books, anything Scholastic put out, anything they publish, you can get. So you had $10, you could get so much shit. Because, look, Goosebumps books were $3.50. Can you believe that?
Crazy. I was just looking at it, and I have I have a newer Goosebumps book, and like the price has doubled since then. But those book fairs are where I bought most of my Goosebumps books. I remember when I was a kid. I still this is my original copy from when I was a kid. So imagine, I still have some of them are original, some of them aren't. But yeah, those book fairs were awesome. There's another book I remember, and I think I still have my copy somewhere in my bookshelf. There's this book. It's not a horror book or a Goosebumps book, but it's called Nasty Stinky Sneakers. And I remember as a kid loving that book. So again, the book fairs were very important to our childhood. So I think we recently we touched on it. I don't know if it was on one of the episodes of the podcast, and I think I asked our guest, I forget who it was. We've done over 30 episodes at this point, but like if kids maybe if they think maybe nowadays kids still have book fairs, since like
we
aren't a thing. Yeah.
I'm assuming there are something adjacent to it, because I'm pretty sure Scholastic is still a thing that is still.
Well, yeah. They still make books, but like kids with like iPads and things like that and their phones can just read books digitally. So like, do kids even want like paper books like they used to? Who knows? Neither one of us have kids, so we don't know personally if that's still a thing in like junior high or like elementary school. So
whenever I'm out, listen, I appreciate like digital content, and like I have digital books on my phone, and I have shit that like, yeah, it's nice to have just in case. But I'll say this, I always have, like if I'm going out somewhere, if I'm going on a train ride, if I'm going wherever, I always have a book.
Yeah.
AirPods, my phone, and my knife. That's it. Those are the 4 things I carry around all times. So,
I love how you have to throw your knife in there. You gotta have that knife on you. A book and a knife.
Literally, this is the book I'm reading right now, which is amazing. A children's Bible. It is not about a children's Bible. It's really fun. And my AirPods are always next to me. Literally, they're sitting right next to me on the table.
Is the knife there too?
The knife is on the other table.
in case you got to cut somebody.
Everything is the one.
I'm just kidding. All right, let's go to my second pick here. So,
and by the way, as per Sheila just said, they still have Scholastic book fairs.
There you go. So they're still a thing. That's good to hear. At least kids can. I'm sure they can't buy as many books with $10 anymore compared to like 1993. So
probably not.
All right. So my second pick here tonight is R.L. Stein's Goosebumps again. Obviously, we're talking Goosebumps. I don't know why I have to always say the full name. It doesn't feel natural about saying R.L. Stein's Goosebumps. But it's Stay Out of the Basement. This is actually the second book in the series, in the original series, only number 2. And this book was released in July 1992, so a year prior to The Haunted Mask.
Okay.
And this book, the cover, was not Tim Jacobus. It was Jim, I'm probably going to butcher his last name, Jim Thiessen. Thiessen, I think is what. Jim Thiessen is his name. And this book is about 2 kids named Margaret and Casey. Their father was just recently let go from his job. He's a botanist. And their mother is leaving them for the weekend because I think she goes to go take care of like a sick family member or something like that. So they're stuck with their dad for a few days, and he's acting really weird. And he keeps hanging out in the basement with all of his plants. And weirdness starts to happen. The brother's attacked by some sort of creature at one point. And the kids start finding out that something is wrong with their father. Long story short, he has become a plant copy of him. There's a plant copy of the dad living in the house, and the kids are with the version of their father that they're seeing is that version. And their dad is like locked up or something, or tied up in the basement, and they have to defeat this bad version, this plant version of their father. So that's the basic story of Stay Out of the Basement. So the basic plot. So yeah, this cover, once again, talking about the whole thing where, like, you know, the cover of the book tells the whole story. Like, as a kid, you look at this, just like VHS covers, we both collect VHS, that cover sells it. And I remember as a kid seeing this cover with this plant Swamp Thing. It always reminded me of Swamp Thing, this hand. But always being curious, like, what's at the other end of that hand? Even before I read like the book, just being like, what does the rest of this guy look like? You know, because again, he is a plant, it's a plant hand. And there's a little tagline, something's waiting in the dark. So again, very, very much a cellar dweller type of situation here.
Can I say one thing? So when I was younger, I always loved that cover too. And for whatever reason, I always used to think it was a drawer that the hand was coming.
It's supposed to be the basement door.
But I'm just saying, it looked like it was a drawer. So I'd be like.
But yeah, this also has been adapted for the TV series. And again, solid episode. You know what I noticed about the TV series going back to the Haunted Mask 2 and your pick, the Haunted Mask Part 1 and Part 2? All the great episodes of that show are an hour long because they have more time to work with. And I believe this was a special, just like the Haunted Mask 1 and 2 when it aired on Fox back in the 90s. Right. And I think if you watch it like on Netflix now, it's a 2-parter, so is the Haunted Mask. But originally when they aired, they were hour-long specials. So they were able to do more with it. And from what I remember, this is another one of my favorite Goosebumps books. It's top 5. I've read it a few times. It's been a while, but I think I read this maybe 5 years ago, and you can knock them out in like a day. But this was a pretty faithful adaptation, the TV series to the book. And I even remember like vividly the TV series, the ending of that, ending the same way with like the flowers, the plants moving, and it's like the dad calling out to the kids or something like that. But yeah, that's a very, very, very iconic cover.
Yep.
when it came to this book. Now, I have a little trivia here, a little fun fact. So, like I said, Tim Thiessen on my notes, because I wasn't going to remember that, was the artist of this cover. Now, one second. Tim Jacobus did the 2003 re-release, which I do not like. There's way too much going on here. Yeah, it's like, I'm assuming the dad is like a plant or a tree of some kind, and he's holding a beaker. And what's funny is when you're looking at this, I don't remember anything like this happening in the book, at least with the other cover, like looking at them, it's a little more ambiguous and ominous. This one flat out is just telling you like the dad's a plant monster. Like that's, this one you're just kind of like, is he making a creature of some kind? Is there some sort of monster living in the basement?
Yeah, it looks like an experiment gone wrong or something.
Yeah. But yeah, Tim Jacobus came back, I guess, because at this point, this guy, Jim Thiessen, I'm calling him Tim because Tim's the other guy, Jacobus. I guess he wasn't their cover artist anymore. And what's funny is that this guy, he was responsible for some of the like Stephen King books too, I believe. I was doing a little research. So he's the cover guy for some novels. But yeah, I was not a huge fan of this 2003 release.
I don't
comparing
mind
it to the original. It's not my favorite. And you actually can see Tim Jacobus's autograph here, because by this point he was known as like the Goosebump cover guy. So think about it. This is 2003. This book is technically old as well, but they brought him back in the re-release because I guess he was just such a popular artist and people just associated him with these Goosebump books. So yeah, stay out of the basement, both covers. I'm curious. I'm going to put up a poll. I'm curious what people prefer: the original OG hand or the like tree dad monster here from the 2003 re-release, because it's just interesting. It's cool that I have two versions of this too. I just like that I have both covers. So
yeah.
What's your next pick, Dave?
So mine, one that I actually just recently acquired with you, and it is Welcome to. Oh, that went too high. There we go.
There it is.
Now this one is a first printing, which is awesome. So I'm very happy to get these in all the first printing, and I didn't realize it until we were at Monster Mania that there were multiple printings. So this one, I always remembered this cover, and honestly, it reminds me of like a VHS tape cover. Like it looks like a Escher movie. So let me just give one more look at that. There you go. That's a pretty good one. So this one's done by Tim Jacobus, but like you were saying before, he didn't sign this one.
No.
So his signature is not there, but he did do the artwork for this. So this was published in 1993, and this is the 9th book in the original series.
Mm-hmm. So it's very early on. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And it was adapted into the Goosebumps TV series. It was a 2-part episode of season 1, and it was episodes 5 and 6. I would actually love to watch this. So I'm going to be very honest. I do not remember this one at all. So everything that I'm reading is just stuff I had to do research. I took research from. Also, I do want to say that this is a really interesting piece of trivia. It is the first book in the series to establish a monthly release schedule.
Yeah, interesting.
Then they started putting Goosebumps out every month.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting. And then hold on, I had one more piece of trivia that was very interesting. So, spoiler alert. I've not read this. Maybe pause or don't watch this first. So, in the Dutch translation of this book, it has a different twist ending.
Yeah.
Where the camp is ran by criminals who enjoy scaring children for their own amusement.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. So good.
The twist ending of this book is good too, though. The original twist ending. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, this is my synopsis of Welcome to Camp Nightmare. Billy is sent off to Camp Night Moon by his parents, who are scientists and explorers. While on the bus, Billy meets a bunch of buds, and the kids are suddenly let off by the bus driver in the middle of the desert. All their bags are unpacked, and suddenly they are surrounded by creatures. That is until Uncle Al shows up in another bus and
Uncle
shoots
Al.
The kids are taken to Camp Night Moon. So there's two factions of Camp Night Moon. There's the male faction and the female faction.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was a thing in the 80s and 90s where they kept camps weren't. I'm sure there were co-ed camps, but a lot, especially ones portrayed in films, they weren't co-ed.
Yeah.
The kids are taken to Camp Night Moon. They're told to never enter the forbidden bunk and prepare for a hell of a twist ending. That's all I'm saying.
It's a great twist ending.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it a little bit because I like that ending a lot. You know, veering off from the cover. But again, spoiler if you haven't read this book. But what always freaked me out about the book and the TV episode and the series was in the book. At the end, you find out they're aliens and they're coming to Earth. It's like a right. It's like a test. It's like they're training him to go to Earth. Yes. Yeah. But in the book, I don't think they ever describe what the kids look like. So, in my mind, they were alien, like they were green all along, wearing clothes and stuff like that. But they looked in the TV series. They couldn't do that because it would have given away the ending. So they just look like humans.
Right.
But I remember reading the book and like when you know the twist ending and you know what's coming, being like, oh, maybe they have like three eyes and we we don't know that because there's a twist ending. Very Twilight Zone-esque. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey, also in the bit of trivia too, they said that it borrowed from the Twilight Zone. It was influenced by the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is actually something I actually really do want to read, and I do really want to watch the show too.
You've never seen that episode?
No, I mean I probably have, but
it's good. It's good. There's a creature called the Beast or something. There's like a big werewolf or like monster or something in it. I remember it's in the book too.
There's another version of that artwork. I don't think it's done by Tim Jacobus. It's done by somebody else, and it's almost the same exact artwork, but you see the creature instead of just its eyes veering, lurking around. You see the whole creature above the tent reaching in.
I gotta Google that. I didn't know that.
I'll have to send it to you so you can put it in Instagram. But I got it at Monster Mania. I think I paid $5 for it, so I'll more than I would have in 1993. And it's something I need to read.
That's another cover that's like super ominous and like it'll reel you in as a kid. Like you want to read it.
Yeah.
Because of that whole monster in the tent and all that stuff. When I know something really funny, and I give R.L. Stine a lot of credit, dude. He's written like 150. You think he wrote all those books? That's a lot of books. I mean, imagine having to read a novel, like write one every month.
Right, and then remember, he also had the Fear Street series, and those were from the older kids, and I have those too.
Yes, so do I.
I met him at a Comic-Con in 2013, I think.
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy. He's very, very deadpan, very like soft-spoken, super nice though. He was signing for free. He had like a stack of like the newer reissues of the Goosebumps. Sign if you had nothing. I had him sign a Fear book of mine. It was really cool. I was with Emily. Because Emily met him too. I'll send it to you. Put it up on the Instagram.
You already mentioned this on one of our episodes, I think.
Yeah.
I think you already what's it called? I put it up already. I think that was one of our earlier episodes. I think you talked about that, but whatever. It still works for this. So because we're talking about Goosebumps. But yeah, those are our picks. Those are our for tonight. We'll probably do this again. Talk about it in the future. We'll probably pick 4 more books and talk about some of our other favorite Goosebump covers and stories. And also my thoughts on both of our thoughts on the Ghostbusters cereal. I wonder if they'll bring Ecto Cooler back.
I think they did. I think I've been seeing in maybe Grimy posted it or somebody posted it. There's making or unofficial, but I've seen like Ecto Cooler drinks.
Well, I made an Ecto Cooler drink for Ghostbusters Day yesterday. I put that up.
Oh, no.
Other people?
With like labels on it.
Really?
And stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know. I have to look that. I'm gonna have to talk to Grimy and see. It's just the soda, not as good. Oh, there you go. See, he answered our question for us.
There you go. I saw it.
It's what Grimy. It's just a like green soda. Is there any flavor? Ecto Thirst Quencher at FYE.
I don't even think there's any FYEs around here anymore. All the ones by me closed down.
Yeah, me too are closed. Yeah, I guess in like Pennsylvania, upstate, maybe you can find one. I wonder does it even taste like Ecto Cooler? Kind of like Mountain Dew. I can see that. So, yeah, that makes sense. None of the orange and tangerine goodness is in Mountain Dew. That's weird. That's a weird decision to make a Ecto Cooler product taste like Mountain Dew. It doesn't. When I drink Ecto Cooler, I don't think of Mountain Dew. The video I made yesterday, though, real quick before we close out, I will say, I see a lot of people I've seen other people recreate Ecto Cooler and stuff using. I think Grimy actually did it yesterday too. I used real Trader Joe's tangerine juice, and then I bought some orange juice and mixed it with blue curacao, which there is alcohol in that, but I mixed it with that, and something in that blue curacao made the drink itself taste more like Ecto Cooler, something in that. Because I also added lime juice and tequila, obviously, because it's a margarita. But whatever's in that blue stuff really helped make it taste even more like an Ecto Cooler. So it was really, if you're into margaritas, watch the video we posted up yesterday, my little fun Ghostbusters Day video where I made the Ecto Coolerita. That tastes just like, if you drink booze, it does taste just like Ecto Cooler with a little bit of tequila. Really good, really delicious, really refreshing. I enjoyed it. But yeah, that's our IG Live, our Haunted Hangover Podcast IG Live for tonight. Thank you all for watching. There go the books. Let's show off the books. Let's show them off. There you go.
There
they are. Don't have to do this again because there's a lot of cool Goosebumps covers and books. So
yeah, we can do. Yeah, I'm literally gonna make it a point to get the original series. I think that's gonna be a fun task.
Yeah. I have like 50 of them, I think, over there. So yeah, I've got to put them in a numerical order.
Just one more thing I want to say. I don't know the name of it. I'm going to have to look it up. There is one other Goosebumps book that looks like straight up crossover thrash album cover. And it's got a Reaper ghost over a tombstone on a beach.
Ghost Beach. I think it's Ghost Beach or something.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking sick.
It is. That's a great... Dude, honestly, 99% of the covers are awesome. Yeah. Some of the shitty books have great covers because the cover is what makes it. So, but yeah, that's it. That's it for us tonight. So, be sure to subscribe to us on all your favorite podcast platforms and on YouTube and Twitter and wherever you find social media things. Find us and have a good night, guys.
Bye.